this 40-year-old guy's still single, and plenty of folks mock him as a loser. But what they don't know is he's a once-in-a-billion swordsmanship genius. With just 100 daily swings, he's become the mightiest swordsman in another world. His name's Beryl, and he can slice through 5-meter-tall elite beasts like butter. Enemies only grasp his true strength after facing him, and they're usually on their knees begging for mercy. Beryl's also a phenomenal teacher. His students, some became top swordsmen, others elite adventurers, one even fused magic and swordplay, creating a brand new fighting style. Here's the kicker, 8 out of 10 of his female students want to marry him. But Beryl, he's clueless about his own charm. He's never beaten his dad, Moldia, so he thinks his skills are just a cut above average. He lives in the countryside, swinging his sword daily, teaching students, and planning to coast through life like this. Moldia, like any dad, nags him to settle down, urging him to pick one of his female students. Beryl insists the dojo's for training, not romance. Most of his female students left in their teens, and he barely keeps in touch, oblivious to how many secretly pine for him. At 40, Beryl's mind is as naive as a 10-year-old's. He's all about teaching swordplay and hopeless with women. At dinner, his parents tease him for being so dense, saying no girl will ever fall for him. Before they finish, a girl shows up at his door. It takes Beryl a moment to recognize her. It's Alicia, his former student, now the Knight Commander. She invites him to train the Knight Order. Moldy is thrilled, hoping Beryl will spark something with Alicia. Beryl, assuming she'd find him too old, misses her quiet murmur that she doesn't mind. On their way to the capital, Beryl notices Alicia still keeps the parting gift he gave her. He mistakes her affection for respect, believing students often overestimate their teachers. In the capital, Alicia eagerly introduces Beryl to the knights, stressing she can't beat him to boost his cred. Beryl's not so sure. After a brief speech, he runs into another former student, Kuruni, who trained with him for 2 years and is now a knight elite. Seeing a familiar face eases his nerves. That night, Beryl returns to his village. As a part-time instructor, he only teaches a few times a month, leaving him plenty of free time. Back home, another student shows up before the episode ends, Randrid, a high-ranking adventurer who's settled down after starting a family. Moldia seizes the chance to hand the dojo to Randrid, ordering Beryl to stay in the capital and focus on finding a wife. Alicia's ecstatic and invites Beryl to move in with her. His romance radar's practically non-existent. He misses the hint entirely. Beryl's insecurity keeps him distant from women, leaving Alicia a bit deflated. Then, a girl mocks Alicia for dating an old guy, making Beryl feel worse for dragging her down. Alicia bites her tongue. The girl keeps pushing until she recognizes Beryl. It's Serena, another of his students. A top-tier adventurer on par with Alicia. Serena apologizes and, like Alicia, harbors feelings for Beryl. Now, the two see each other as rivals. To win Beryl's favor, Serena helps him find a rental in the capital. Beryl's grateful for his students' support in this unfamiliar city. But trouble brews. The Knight Order's deputy, Henbritz, thinks Beryl's a fraud and challenges him to a duel before he can teach. The knights gossip, doubting this country bumpkin could be a hidden master. They expect Henbritz to crush him. The duel kicks off with Henbritz's fierce attacks, determined to expose Beryl. Beryl, mostly defensive, isn't used to sparring and doubts his own strength. Yet, this unconfident guy with zero aggression finds an opening in a few rounds, effortlessly countering Henbritz's strongest blow. The knights are floored by Beryl's skill. The chatter explodes, and Henbritz now idolizes him. That night, they hit the tavern. Alicia, loosened by booze, drops her usual poise. Henbritz apologizes and eagerly anticipates Beryl's lessons. Meanwhile, Moldia and Randrid share drinks, fully aware of Beryl's power, excited for this rural swordmaster to shake up the world. The next week, Beryl starts teaching the knights and adapts faster than expected. When he explains techniques, the knights listen like his old students did years ago. After class, Kuruni offers to show Beryl around the capital. You guessed it, she's got a soft spot for him too. Alicia, meanwhile, is in a tense meeting with military brass. She's under pressure for bringing Beryl in but stands firm, knowing his strength and wanting him to shine on a bigger stage. Years ago, Alicia's family moved to the countryside temporarily. Worried about safety, her parents sent her to train with Beryl. As a shy kid wary of strangers, she was nervous, but Beryl's kindness put her at ease. If I'd had a teacher like Beryl, I might have aced college. His style suits nearly everyone. He never scolds mistakes, patiently tailoring techniques to each student. In just a year and a half, Alicia grew leaps and bounds. To test his students, Beryl took them to a nearby dojo for sparring. To Alicia, her opponents were full of openings, and she won easily. On the way back, she forgot something and returned alone, only to face a sore loser who tried to ambush her. Beryl blocked the attack, taking a hit. The dojo master, knowing Beryl's skill, made the kid kneel in apology. Afterward, Alicia cried, guilty over Beryl's injury. She vowed to get stronger to protect him. She trained harder, eventually pushing Beryl to fight seriously in spars. That signaled the end of her training. Beryl had nothing left to teach her. He gave her a sword as a parting gift. Alucia joined the Knight Order, acing the entrance test. She's fought countless strong foes since, never losing, which only confirms Beryl's unimaginable strength as a continental legend. Now, as commander, Alucia's used her clout to get Beryl this gig. Her good mood sours when Henbritz mentions Kuruni's out with Beryl, sparking fears of a new rival. Luckily, Kuruni's more into food than romance. While strolling with Beryl, they bump into Ficelle, yep, another of Beryl's students. She's now a court mage. Beryl's awkward, thinking she ditched swordplay for magic. He's wrong. When Ficelle catches a thief, she wields a blend of sword and spell, a genius who forged her own style. Ficelle didn't abandon the blade, she found her path. Beryl's thrilled. After parting, he heads home alone. A girl, looking barely 10, stops him, claiming to be Lucy, the court mage's leader. Her magic keeps her youthful, but she's older than Beryl. Lucy heard about Beryl from Ficelle and wants to test his strength. A magic fanatic, she's as big in her field as Alucia is in knighthood. Like many elites, she loves dueling the strong. Beryl tries to talk Lucy out of fighting, still doubting himself. He'd probably credit slaying a demon king to the beast having a stomachache, not his skill. He knows Lucy's title means she's a kingdom-tier powerhouse, stronger than anyone he's faced. Beryl's a walking contradiction, unsure of his strength yet worried he'll hurt her. He aims to knock her out with his sword's hilt to end it. Lucy's just having fun, unbothered by stakes. Their clashing mindsets leave Beryl struggling to close the gap. Lucy, bored, senses he's holding back and preps her ultimate spell to force his full power. For the first time, Beryl feels death looming. Lucy halts her attack. She won't kill an innocent for a thrill. Smart move, or she might have been the one down. After all, Beryl's not just a teacher, he's the protagonist. The next day, Ficelle brings Beryl a magic potion as an apology for Lucy's stunt. She says Lucy's an enigma, her age and power unknown. Alucia tracks Beryl down. The Adventurers Guild president asked her to get Beryl to train newbies. Alucia suspects Serina's behind it, scheming to get closer to Beryl and become Mrs. Master. Beryl, ever the eager teacher, isn't as wary. Through Serena, he meets the guild president, Nidus, who says Serena and Lucy recommended him. Ironically, Nidus's aide, Megan, doubts Beryl and demands he duels Serena to prove himself. Beryl's exasperated. Why all these fights? He'd rather farm and reap a harvest than brawl daily. Serena's pumped, seeing this as a chance to spread Beryl's fame. Years ago, her family was attacked by a beast. No brother named Arthur saved her, but Beryl did. Orphaned, Serena was distant when she arrived at Beryl's. Seeing him swing his sword 100 times daily, maybe driven by vengeance, she grew curious about fighting. She became his student, kicking off her path to legendary adventurer. At the dojo, she made friends and found hope. Beryl later found a couple to adopt her, and they parted in tears. Like Alucia, Serena's strength soared, making her a legend. Now, she'll show Beryl her progress. They bow as they did years ago. Serena goes all out but can't land a hit, just like back then. She's thrilled by the intense fight. Beryl, proud, easily defeats her. The crowd stunned, beating a legendary adventurer. Megan's suddenly all respect, and Beryl lands Nidus's job. Next, Beryl and Serena take 3 rookie adventurers to a cave with low-level goblins. Normally, Beryl wouldn't need to fight, but in anime, no surprises is never an option. A high-level beast appears, swatting a rookie and roaring, 5 meters tall. It aims to devour everyone. This mix-up left Beryl to face the beast alone, and he had zero confidence in winning. This high-level beast had insane physical defense, could fly for crazy mobility, and worst of all, it wielded fire magic with a massive attack range. It could roast Beryl's teammates from afar while still fighting him up close. Hearing his friend's screams, something snapped in Beryl. His potential kicked into overdrive. He charged, driving his sword into the beast's eye, but his blade snapped in the process. Just then, Serena swooped in and landed the killing blow. Crisis averted, barely. Serena gifted Beryl the beast's foot to craft a new weapon. Soon, a legendary sword worthy of a sword saint was in the works. That night, Beryl joined the victory feast but stayed disciplined, leaving before getting too drunk. On his way home, he ran into a thief named Mui, who shocked him by using magic, pretty rare for a petty crook. After Mui slipped away, Beryl found a necklace she dropped. At dawn, Beryl turned the necklace over to the Knight Order. Henblitz clued him in. A thief gang had been stirring up trouble in the city. Beryl suspected Mui was tied to them. He couldn't wrap his head around why a mage would throw away their future to become a criminal. He got answers soon enough. Beryl spotted Mui on the street and offered to return her necklace, if she'd come clean to the Knight Order. After some hesitation, Mui spilled her story. Her sister had died, and the thief gang's boss, Uayami, promised to bring her back for 5 million. At first, Mui didn't buy it, but Uayami used magic to make her sister's corpse move briefly. That drove Mui nuts. She turned to thieving to raise the cash fast. Beryl knew the truth. No magic in this world could revive the dead. It was a scam. He teamed up with Alucia and Lucy to raid Uayami's hideout. Uayami wasn't fazed. Armed with a stash of magical tools, he could cast high-level spells. Bad luck for him, Lucy's a magical beast herself. She took him down in seconds. The bad news, Mui's sister's body was gone. That night, Uayami mysteriously died during his transfer to custody. Alicia broke the news to Beryl. Uyami's corpse had a magical device inside, likely planted by the mastermind to silence him. Beryl felt heavy. Humans could be way scarier than any beast. On a brighter note, Beryl's new sword was ready, and it didn't take long for him to put it to use. A priest from a neighboring country tipped Lucy off. Their bishop, Sarleon, had gone rogue, experimenting with forbidden magic on corpses. Uyami was one of his lackeys. Problem was, without hard evidence, Lucy couldn't just storm in. Too much political heat. So, the job fell to Beryl. His track record proved he could handle it. That same night, he tracked down Sarleon. The bishop tried to flee, sending church knights to slow Beryl down. Beryl broke through and stormed the church, only to face something grim. Sarleon had turned corpses into zombies, including Mui's sister. It tore Beryl up, but destroying the zombies was the kindest thing he could do. After clearing them out, Sarleon sent a high-ranking knight his way, Beryl's toughest foe yet. A fanatic dripping with zeal. The fight was brutal, both men drenched in blood. Beryl barely won, gravely wounded. With Sarleon's last line of defense gone, justice was coming for the bishop. The mission earned Beryl a house as a reward. Mui moved in, deciding to live with him as a maid to thank him for freeing her sister's soul. Once they started living together, Beryl ended up acting more like the maid, cooking Mui breakfast every day. When they had free time, he'd take her shopping or to the theater. On Mui's first day at the Magic Academy, Beryl was there like a proud dad, seeing her off. The school told him students could choose to live at home or in the dorms. Beryl was torn. He'd grown close to Mui and wanted more time together, but he also wanted her to thrive in the school's environment. Funny enough, his female apprentices, Serena and Alicia, pushed for Mui to stay in the dorms. They were terrified she'd steal Beryl's heart. Both secretly dreamed of marrying their mentor someday. When Beryl asked Mui what she wanted, she chose to keep living with him. A special bond was starting to grow in her heart. Things got spicy as the girls started getting jealous of each other. With a diplomatic group from a neighboring country due to arrive, Alicia recommended Beryl and the Night Order to protect them. She wanted to boost his rep, and maybe score some alone time. Using the mission's importance as an excuse, she suggested they go shopping for clothes together. That night, Beryl invited Mui along, but she turned him down. Everyone but Beryl could see Alicia had a crush on him. This shopping trip was basically a date in disguise. Mui was jealous but felt helpless. She was just too young. Mui's hunch was spot on. Alicia ditched her usual armor for a cute girl-next-door look. They hit up clothing stores and dined at a romantic restaurant. Alicia hadn't been this happy in ages. In that moment, she made up her mind. She challenged Beryl to a sparring match. With a deal, if she won, she'd confess her feelings. Everyone bet on Alicia, nicknamed Lightning, for her speed. But Beryl was faster. A few rounds in, he knocked her down. Alicia's confession would have to wait. She just hoped she could get stronger before another girl stole Beryl's heart. With the diplomatic group's arrival still a bit off, Beryl took on extra jobs to cover Mui's expenses. Serena came through with a gig from the Adventurers Guild, tame rare wild horses as a gift for the diplomats. Serena's a beast in a fight but clueless with horses. Beryl was happy to help. They spent a whole day in the forest and got the job done. Just then, the neighboring country's Night Order commander and deputy arrived early. When Beryl went to greet them, he ran into an unexpected face, his apprentice, Rose. As mentioned before, Beryl's disciples are scattered across the continent, and most have become top-tier powerhouses. Rose is currently serving as the deputy commander of the neighboring country's Night Order, and she's deeply grateful for Beryl's mentorship. This is driving Alicia up the wall. Now, on top of Serena, she's got another romantic rival to deal with. This time, the Night Orders of both nations are teaming up for security duties. After wrapping up official business, Rose slips into casual clothes and invites Beryl for a stroll through town. She's kind, great with kids, and just has this warm vibe. When Rose drops the idea of moving in together, Beryl's tempted to say yes. He thinks she might even bring out a brighter side in Mui. But soon, Beryl's attention shifts to something else. The princess of his country and the prince of the neighboring one are set to travel together, and Beryl's on guard duty. Out of nowhere, he senses a murderous intent. At first, he brushes it off as a trick of the mind, but his bad feeling quickly turns real. A group of assassins launches a sudden attack, kicking up thick smoke to cloud everyone's vision. Their weapons are laced with poison. Henblitz gets blinded temporarily by the toxic mist, but thanks to Beryl's training, he's leveled up big time. Relying on his ears alone, he takes down one of the attackers. In the chaos, Katoga, the commander of the neighboring Night Order, gets a clear look at one of the assassins' faces, and he's shocked. That moment of distraction lets the assassin slip away. These attackers are no pushovers, but they're up against elite fighters. After a few intense rounds, the assassins start dropping one by one. Just as the knights prepare to interrogate the survivors, they notice something chilling. The captured assassins are poisoning themselves and dying off, one after another. Since all the assassins took poison and ended their lives, they left behind few clues. Beryl's job was done for now, so he headed home to await further news. To his surprise, Lucy was there, sipping tea. She dropped a bombshell. This assassination attempt was likely orchestrated by the neighboring country's church. That nation's politics are a mess, royalty and clergy constantly at odds, each craving more power. In a way, they despise each other. Beryl was puzzled. Even if the church's assassins had succeeded in killing the prince today, the king still has other sons to inherit the throne. Lucy cleared up his confusion. The next in line is a devout believer, cozy with the church's top brass. Beryl's heart sank. If this was the truth, it was almost too cruel to stomach. But soon, things got even darker. During the next leg of their journey, the assassins launched a larger, deadlier attack. Lucia stayed behind to protect the prince and princess, while Beryl held off the onslaught. After a grueling battle, Beryl's blade was drenched in blood. He'd just taken down the nearby enemies when a new, formidable foe appeared, Rose. Rose was swayed by the Pope's cunning words. She believed the Pope's divine authority towered over the kings, and only holy power could save the poor from suffering. So, Rose secretly aided the assassins in their deadly mission. But there's more, she had no choice. The Pope held countless orphans hostage, forcing her hand. Beryl, caught in a tough spot, had no option but to face Rose with his unmatched swordsmanship. This guy's been undefeated since the show started, and this time was no different. Crisis averted, but stronger foes are lurking, waiting to challenge Beryl down the road. That evening, the king invited Beryl to dine with him, finally making Lucia's dream come true. Beryl's fame is skyrocketing, and now even the king acknowledges his skill. Word soon reached Beryl's hometown. His father read the news with pride. A kid from the sticks is carving his path to becoming a legend in this world. Thanks for watching another anime recap on my channel. Drop your rating in the comments below. I've got tons of classic anime breakdowns, so swing by often for more. Catch you next time.